as we all know that Google is the very younger company, so again Google has invented GFS masters in Google file system. So what a GFS master is going to do, it stores entire metadata of the cluster. It manages file names, chunks IDs, chunks location, even access control details also. So why there is need that Google feel that GSF master should be there to control these whole commodity servers? As we all know that nodes failure happen frequently. Another reason will be their files are very huge amount of we can say GBs. Most files are modified by appending at the end. Okay, then bandwidth is again very important concept that GFS should be maintain GFS master with the Google file system. You can see here the diagram for handling these whole chunk servers. GFS master is there and GFS master is taking whole control in single hand. So this will be, you can see in next image, you can see here. So GFS allows us reads and writes. So here this diagram is showing GFS reads. What do you think? Will you not come up with the question like why there is a single master for handling so huge amount of community servers? Because masters has global knowledge of the whole system, which drastically simplifies the design. But master is sometime be bottleneck. Okay, so you can see what the master is working here for read operations. You can see if a GFS client is ask for some chunks of data. Okay, so we are just taking the details from GFS master that whatever the data we want is kept where. Means we are just checking the index into the GFS master that on which server we have to go. Then once we get the data from this GFS master, we can directly communicate with the GFS chunk server now. Okay, you can see here a dark arrow that is directly in contact with the that particular chunk server from where we need a chunk of data. The responsibility of master in GFS is that first of all you think a client as customer of GFS. Okay, the master server act as coordinator of the cluster, and the master's duties include maintaining an operation log which keeps a track of activities of the master. Look at the question like this. You may arrive the question like such questions: where is the Google file system used? The file system has successfully met our storage needs. It widely deployed within the Google as storage platform for generation or processing of the data used by the different kinds of services. Okay, what is Google file system used for? So we have come to know like it is designed or implemented for scalable distributed file system for large distributed data. It provides fault tolerance while running an inexpensive commodity hardware, and it delivers high aggregate performance to the large number of clients. Now let's move to the another topic. What is Hadoop? This is the next topic of your syllabus. That is, what is Hadoop? Hadoop is an open source software framework. Okay, it is a framework. It is encompassing different kinds of technology into it for storing the data and running the applications on clusters of commodity hardware. See, commodity hardware. It provides massive storage for any kind of data, enormous processing power, and ability to handle virtually limited concurrent tasks. Do you know what is the full form of Hadoop? High availability distributed object oriented platform. Okay? High availability distributed object oriented platform. Hadoop provides HDFS, MapReduce, YARN. HDFS is world most reliable storage layer, whereas MapReduce distributed processing layer, YARN resource management layer. These three technologies are very important while studying the Hadoop. Some examples of Hadoop are here. First example is like financial services companies used analytics for access risk, build investment models, and creating trending algorithms. Hadoop has been used to help build, run those application. Like another example is retailers use it to help analyze structured and unstructured data to better understand and to serve their customers. Another example is like the asset intensive energy industry. Hadoop powered analytics are used for predictive maintenance. Okay. um, with the input from the IoT devices, like feeding the data into the big data programs. Another example is like telecommunication companies. Another one is there are numerous public sector programs ranging from the anticipating and preventing disease outbreaks to crunching numbers of catch tax cheats. So these are the different kinds of examples. Okay, this is none of your business, but just for your information I have included the example here. You can see here, this slide is going to show you the what we can see features of Hadoop. You can read here from reliability, economics, scalability, flexibility, easy to use, data locality, high availability, distributed processing, fault tolerance, open source. So these much are, we can say, these are the features of Hadoop. Open source means it is a Java based programming framework. Hadoop is a Java based programming framework. Open source means it is freely available and even we can change its source code as per your requirements. Fault tolerance means it control faults by the process of replica creation. Okay, when client stores a file in HDFS, it divided into the block, then client distributed the data blocks across the different machine present in HDFS clusters and then create a replica of each block is on another machine present into the cluster. So this is fault tolerance. Distributed processing means Hadoop store huge amount of data in distributed manner. It process the data in parallel on these different cluster nodes. Scalability means Hadoop is an open source platform, so this makes extremely scalable platform, so new nodes can easily be added without any downtime. Reliability means data is reliably stored on the cluster of machine despite of machine failure or due to the replication of data. So if any kind of node fails, then also we can store a data reliably. High availability means due to the multiple copies of the data is highly available. Economic means Hadoop is not very expensive as it runs on the clusters of commodity hardware. As we are using low cost commodity hardware, we don't need to spend huge amount of money for scaling out your Hadoop cluster. Flexibility means Hadoop is very flexible. Hadoop is very flexible. What we can say? I forgot. Hadoop is very flexible in terms of ability to deal with the different kinds of data. Easy to use means no need of client to deal with the distributed computing frameworks or to take care of all that thing, so it is very easy to use. Data locality means it refers to the ability to move the computation to close where actual data resides on the node. Instead of moving to the data computation, this minimizes the network congestion and increases over throughput of the system. So these all are the features of the Hadoop. Now let us discuss something about the Hadoop architecture here. Hadoop follows master slave architecture. Okay, I hope you have heard previous to this master slave architecture uh, word or phrase. Last time I have taught you the DBMS. In that we have learned master slave architecture designed for data storage and distributed data processing using HDFS, MapReduce respectively. Master node for data storage is Hadoop, and it is the name node, and the master node for parallel processing of data using Hadoop MapReduce is job tracker. Okay, fine. Whatever I read from the slide, forgot it. But from this slide, you all must know about the master slave architecture and even what is name node and what is data node. Okay, let's talk something about the master slave architecture. You can see the diagram. So applications and some masters and slaves you can see. So all two arrows are going from master to slave only here. As distributed systems have become more commonplace, the need for higher capacity distributed databases has grown. Many distributed databases still attempt to maintain ACID guarantees. Okay, about the databases, ACID means consistency aspect, which is most difficult in the distributed environment, leading to the master slave architecture. Okay, in this master slave approach, there might be many servers handling the request, but only one server can actually perform write or to maintain the data in consistent state is called as master. This avoids the scenario where same data can be modified via concurrent mutations request to the different nodes through slaves. Okay, means only master is responsible for writing the data over the different servers. So this is somewhat recap for all of you. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Hadoop architecture. As previously we told that while discussing the Hadoop architecture is divided into the three main uh, components of Hadoop framework, you can say. One is the MapReduce, second is the Yarn, and third one is the HDFS. Okay, so let's discuss, or let's take a look of this slide first. This is the Hadoop architecture. You can see here in this green boxes are showing MapReduce, even HDFS. Okay. Then yarn is absent here, but you can see the whole diagram is horizontally divided into the two parts. The upper part is showing MapReduce layer, the below part is showing HDFS layer. While studying the HDFS, I previously also told that it is very important to know what is name node exactly and what are the data nodes. Okay, like Hadoop, HDFS is also working on the master slave architecture. So the name nodes are the master, whereas data nodes are the slaves here. Okay, and the map reduce is um, first is mapping task and then reducing task. Whatever you map, you have to reduce it. So this is done by the map reduce layer. You can see in map reduce two phrases are very important. First is the job tracker, second is the task tracker. Like Hadoop, हडूप का पार्ट मैप रिड्यूस एंड एच डी एफ एस है, इसीलिए हडूप अगर मास्टर स्लेव से वर्क कर रहा है तो एच डी एफ एस एंड मैप रिड्यूस इज ऑल्सो वर्किंग विद द same terminology, that is master slave architecture. You can see here name nodes are acting as a master in HDFS, whereas job trackers are acting as a master in MapReduce layer. So next slide. Again same thing, Hadoop architecture comprises three major layers. They are HDFS, yarn and MapReduce. Now just take a look of small terminologies, that is what is name node. So name node is the single master server exist in the HDFS, as I previously told that name nodes are the master. It is a single node, it become the reason of a single point of failure. It manages file system namespaces, executing an operation like opening, renaming and closing the files. It simplifies the architecture of the system. Okay, then what is data node? As I told that these are the slaves. The HDFS cluster contains multiple data nodes. Each data node contains multiple blocks. These blocks are used to store the data. It is the responsibility of the data node to read and write requests from the file system's client. It performs block creation, deletion and replication upon इंस्ट्रक्शन फ्रॉम द नेम नोड. देखो, हडूप के अंदर यान मैप रिड्यूस एंड एच डी एफ एस है. अगर हडूप मास्टर स्लेव आर्किटेक्चर बेस काम कर रहा है तो ये तीनों भी टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे काम कर रही है, मास्टर स्लेव आर्किटेक्चर बेस. सो इसमें जो नेम नोड है एच डी एफ एस में वो मास्टर है, डेटा नोड स्लेव्स है. मैप रिड्यूस में जॉब ट्रैकर जो है वो सॉरी ये क्या था, जॉब ट्रैकर जो थे वो मास्टर थे एंड टास्क ट्रैकर जो है वो कौन थे, स्लेव्स थे. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट ऑल अबाउट द डेटा नोड. नाउ what is job tracker? The role of job tracker is to accept the MapReduce job from the client and process the data using the name node. job tracker का काम रहेगा कि जो भी रिक्वेस्ट आया है वो नेम नोड से करा के ले. इट रिस्पॉन्स नेम नोड प्रोवाइड्स मेटा डेटा टू द जॉब ट्रैकर. Task tracker work as slave node for job tracker. It receives task and code from the job tracker and applies that code on that file, and this process can also be called as mapper because task tracker and job tracker are the part of what? MapReduce terminology. MapReduce layer. The MapReduce becomes into the existence when the client application submits the MapReduce job to the job tracker. In response, job tracker sends a request to appropriated task tracker. Sometime task tracker fails or timeout. In that cases, the part of the job is rescheduled. So this is again what name node and data node is. Okay, HDFS as master a slave architecture, and it is called as name node runs on the master server, and name nodes is responsible for namespaces management and regulates file system by the clients. Okay, fine. This will be fine for today's lecture. In next lecture we will be start with the advantages of Hadoop and the another topics. Okay, in another lecture we are going to see some small history of the Hadoop also. So thank you.